guys, welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps. Today I'm covering 90 Day Fiancé Before the 90 Days. You guys, it is the tell-all. It's the reunion. It's what I've been looking forward to. I'm so excited. They broke it up into two parts, but screw that, I'm putting it in one. We're going to be talking about all the couples, where they're at now, what's going on, what the heck is going on at this reunion, all the crazy moments. I cannot wait. Let's get into this. Hey guys, I just want to take a second and say if you're enjoying this show, please check out my Patreon. Go to patreon.com, search Real Housewives Recaps, or check the comments below and I'll put a link. And for $1 a week, you can support my show and get 4 bonus episodes per month. I'm covering Scary Island, like the greatest season of Real Housewives in New York. So check it out. Thanks so much. So it's filmed in New York City. We see a lot of behind the scenes stuff on this reunion. I'm used to the Housewives where that's kind of a new trope for them, is to show like the ladies arriving, maybe they're getting their makeup done, that sort of thing. But this one is kind of crazy because you get to see everybody's arrival. You see them backstage. You see them with their hair people and getting dressed, and the nerves, all that. It's kind of interesting to see. So, of course, the Americans all arrive to the studio, and the people that live in the other countries, for the most part, with the exception of Tom, they're brought in on monitors. So we see it like that. And, so interesting to see. So I'll break down this reunion, and we'll talk about it all, believe me. But I'm going to tell you some of my high points and my low points. Okay. So, high points. I don't know. The whole thing was good. I liked Tom much better in person than I did on the show. I thought he was pretty well spoken and a little bit more together than I thought. Wow, look at Darcey here, by the way. This is how she arrives. Leave the glasses, leave the whole outfit. Very Darcey. Okay. My low points, I could not believe Akinyi. I thought she's this sweet girl. She seemed, I don't know, a little naive but sweet, Kenyan girl, and she was not nice on this reunion. I was surprised. She was really not talking very nice to Ben, and I mean, he's a dick, so I get it, but I just was kind of surprised. Akinyi kind of blew me away. Oh my gosh, and Angela. They ended up kicking Angela basically off the studio, and we will get into that, but Angela, she's a monster. I thought she was just kind of like a funny monster, where you kind of laugh at her and get a kick out of her. No, she's awful. She talked awful to everybody. So we'll get into that too. So, wow, so much to cover. Okay. I thought the host did a really good job. She asked a lot of questions that I wanted to know. Where the show kind of lost me is this reunion, she literally said it was like 4 hours long. And they jump around a lot. They'd start to get into something I really want to know about, and she'd be like, and after the break. Or they'd go, to the green room where some of the people were waiting, and you kind of hear their thoughts. And that's cool, but it kind of, I don't know, broke the flow of the show for me. So, yeah, that's just my thoughts. Okay, so when we really, P.S., Jesse is there. Now, again, I didn't watch previous seasons. I've heard a lot about this Jesse. He seems like a real toolbox in person, a real douche canoe, because he is very full of himself. And we'll talk about that too. Okay, so we start off with Tom and Darcey's segment. She's like, so you two were not together when we all left off. Where are you guys now today? And Tom says, I'm here to support Darcey and to be with her and to see her again. And the host says, do you consider her your girlfriend? And Tom says, well, we're together and seeing if that's a possibility. Well, she asks Darcey, do you consider him your boyfriend? And she says, yeah, I do. So we did get to see Tom's sister, Emma, for a while. I like Emma. At first I thought, she's going to give Darcey crap. She's going to be tough. But no, I actually really like Emma. She's very down to earth. She just really, she kind of said what I was thinking about things. She says, I don't know if Tom is ready to settle down, and I think Darcey's embroiled in the fantasy of things. I think she's spot on. That's exactly how I feel too. She says, I don't think they've had the opportunity to really get to know each other. Then she says, what's his favorite color, Darcey? Well, Darcey doesn't know. So that just kind of proves the sister's point. You haven't taken the time to get to know him. You haven't been asking him the questions. It does seem like Darcey's very much about Darcey and exactly how Darcey wants things. So I thought the sister did a good job making her point. And to further weird things out, the host brings up that Tom's been engaged twice. Darcey had no idea. And the sister and the host both say, you didn't know? And Darcey said he didn't feel like telling me. And Tom's answer was, you never asked. Oh, I love it. Tom, did you have a ring on you when she came to see you? And he says, yeah, at one point I'd planned to take her to Gran Canaria. That's where his dad proposed to his mom. And Darcey said, I had the feeling if I had gone there, it would have happened. But when we went to Albania, we weren't having a good time. So this is when they brought out her sister, Stacy. And they have such a weird energy together. And she's saying this, it would have happened if we had gone to Albania. And Stacy's like, oh, you're blaming me then, because it was Stacy's idea that they go to Albania. These twins, they're a lot. I think I need to watch a little bit of that Darcey and Daisy. What did I just say? Darcey and Stacy show, because they're kind of a mess, but they're kind of, I don't know why I still get a kick out of watching them. They talk about Jesse, and Stacy's saying that Jesse loved himself more than he loved her sister. Darcey says she hadn't spoken to him all of last year. She said he reached out over the summer. The host says, well, Jesse's here. Jesse's in the green room. Okay. So this is where things get real interesting. I'm not even going to go over the whole Jesse thing because I think he was just there for screen time and I'm not here for that. But he said something completely different than her. He's saying not only, that she was in contact, but that she was reaching out constantly. I think he said up until about a month ago, she was reaching out all the time to the point where he thought he had to get a restraining order. Again, I don't know this guy. He sounds like he's very full of himself, so I take that with a grain of salt. But that's a big discrepancy to say, nope, I haven't reached out to him, to this guy saying, oh, she won't stop reaching out to me. Okay, so back in the green room, this Jesse is, I don't know, he's made friends with Angela. Okay, so we see that. They're hugging on the elevator. Cool. They go into the green room, and Avery and Tim are both saying, no, thank ya. I don't really want to meet you. I don't want to shake your hand. I think you're here to cause problems for Darcey. Okay, respectable. They're not being too mean about it. They're just like, no, thank you, you know. Well, Angela gets bent out of shape. She just starts screaming at everybody. She yells at Avery and she yells at Tim, and she's saying, you guys have enough going on in your life to jump on this man, and you don't know what the hell is going on here. And Angela literally yells, worry about yourself. Okay, Angela. Same to you. So basically, Avery explains that she's affected so hard because she's been through a controlling, abusive relationship, and she says Darcey doesn't deserve this. But again, Angela just wants to fight. She's fighting with everybody. She's fighting the backstage area. When they go up on stage, she tries to fight Rebecca. Like, I think they're going to come to blows because Rebecca stands up and Angela charges at her. It's the craziest thing. And the annoying thing is Angela kept saying, I have 6 grandkids. I have 6 grandkids. Congratulations. Do you want a fucking cookie? Like, what are we talking about here? What does that have to do with anything? I don't understand. Who cares that you have 6 grandkids? Congratulations. You can reproduce. That makes you a huge winner. I don't know what to say. This is ridiculous. She's acting ridiculous. She's having a huge opinion, but she doesn't want anybody else to have an opinion. Anytime anybody tries to speak, she cuts them off and yells over top of them. And I think that's kind of Avery's point too, is just shut up. If you're allowed to have an opinion, we're allowed to have an opinion. So Angela goes outside. She FaceTimes with Michael. I don't know how Michael deals with this. Again, I haven't seen last season, so maybe he's shady too, but he seems like so much nicer than she does. I don't understand this at all. I feel like he's an abusive relationship. Like, she's just straight up cruel and controlling. She's very controlling. We see it here. We see it. She won't let anybody else talk. So this is the part where they bring them all back in, and this is the part where her and Angela almost come to blows. Not Angela. Her and Rebecca. Angela and Rebecca almost come to blows. So things are so bad, and the host is very annoyed, and it's funny because she can't hide it in her facial expressions, and I find that hilarious because I'm the same way. If something annoys me, you can clearly see it in my face. But so the host has to move her segment up just to get Angela out of there. So she brings in Angela, Michael, and Skyla. They talk about the egg stuff. They're still begging Skyla for her egg for whatever reason because Angela thinks she can have a baby at 50 whatever years old. Skyla straight up tells her again, I'm not going to give you my egg. If it's my egg, it's my baby. I'm not doing it. And Michael's saying having a baby is more important than coming to the United States. If Angela can't have a baby, are you going to leave her? He says, well, God can help us do anything. We're stuck together. Whatever that means. So, yeah, so they seem to think he can come to America by the end of the year. I'm going to go ahead and tell you I Googled it, and he hasn't yet. COVID, unfortunately, slowed everything down, so that's just not been an option. They still think it'll be about a year before he can come to America. She's still having worries about trusting him. They actually got married in Nigeria, but they haven't been able to bring him here because she's concerned about trusting him. All right, let's go talk about Ben and Akinyi for a little bit. Ben is a monster. He really turned me off with the controlling behavior, and they actually bring it up in this tell-all, but he's a monster. Okay. Akinyi always seemed like a really sweet girl. She was feisty this reunion. I don't know if she and Ben were fighting or what, but just every time they'd ask her something, she had a feisty answer. Like, she basically told Ben she wasn't super attracted to him because he's big. He's too big. He's overweight. Holy cow. And then the host asks, so then we get into this whole Fidel thing because he's the brother. They're asking how Ben did when he was in Kenya. How did the visit go? And Fidel says he's average. Akinyi says he's average. He's timid. He just doesn't have that alpha male thing that matters to my dad and my brother. So again, she's saying this with her husband sitting right there saying, yeah, he's kind of a wimp. He's kind of a weenie. He's kind of not an alpha male. Okay, so we all know this about Ben, but are you going to say that about your husband? Well, an interesting twist is we find out Ben went out drinking with Fidel, and he didn't tell Akinyi about it, so she was pissed. I get that, because he gave her such crap about drinking. And even the host was like, what's up with that? Why were you so controlling about the drinking? And he's like, it's not the drinking, it's just that she got drunk. She changed her personality. Poor girl had one margarita. She was toasted. She's just not used to drinking like that, and he lost his mind over it. But it turns out he went out drinking with Fidel. To make matters even worse, the host asks Fidel, well, what do you think about Ben trying to control your sister in the drinking? And Fidel says, yeah, it's a good idea. That's how, that makes me like him more. That's how a house should be run. What? So let's go over to Tim and Jen. Oh, they're a lot. Okay. So remember that used ring he gave her? So the host immediately asks, did you buy her a ring yet? And he says no. Jen thinks he should sell that ring and get her a bigger one. Veronica kept saying she doesn't know what she's getting into, and what that means is they got them to explain it. Jennifer says, well, I get what Veronica means now, that Tim's a roller coaster. He's moody, he's dark and quiet, and so she was kind of warning her against that. They talk a lot about, so Jennifer kept calling Tim gay, thinking maybe he was gay. And so apparently people online have been questioning his sexuality. Tim says, I've been questioned about this experience, and it just doesn't help my case at all. I'm not gay. I was born a man. I'm not bi. I like women. So status update we got on them. They still have not done the deed. This is a big deal because he was there for weeks. She basically said he made every excuse possible. They didn't do it. Okay. Also, so he says he still loves her. He wants her to come to America and to see him. Okay. So I jumped on my Google machine, and it sounds like they are not still together. They didn't break up immediately after the trip or anything. It just says that he was planning for her to get the visa, and then they called it quits. I couldn't get any more information than that, but I'm not really shocked. He has since confirmed that he broke up with her. Not shocked. Yeah, they couldn't even make it a couple hours without arguing, and they never slept together. So I don't know how that was supposed to work out, but it didn't. That sucks. Hopefully they both find better partners. So then we go over to Rebecca and Zied. So they bring up, why did you wait so long to tell Zied about being with a woman and about still being married? And Rebecca says, I was not about to bring Zied here if he was homophobic. I hate that. What? I didn't really answer the question. So it sounds like she was scared. She was scared of how he reacts, so she waited to the last minute. I don't like this storyline at all. It doesn't make either one of them look good. She looks like she can't tell the truth, and he looks like he's got anger problems. And I just don't know if that's the case. So they go back and forth, but the host says, if she had told you before you went to Tunisia, about the married thing, would you have told her not to come? And Ziad said, yes, I think so. Meaning he would have told her don't come if he had found out about the woman thing. Because this is a big deal in the Muslim culture, he explains, according to him, or at least to his family. They're afraid that if the family finds out, he's going to have to pick either her or the family. That's how big this deal is. So when I looked into this couple, I was curious if they were still together. It does sound like they're still together. And it sounds like in October, Zied confirmed that he and Rebecca are going to be returning to TV in the near future. He didn't explain what that means. I don't know if that's happily ever after or what, but it sounds like they are still going strong, still together, and going to be on TV soon. They brought out her friend here, the boss that's the PI, and they're like, hey, what do you think? And she was nice about it. She says, I'll think more when he gets here and we see that he's working hard and that they're happy. She's worried for her friend. She's worried because her friend Rebecca has done this before. Remember, she married the Moroccan guy. She brought him to America. And they're explaining he thought her money was his money and his money was only his money. So it just didn't go well. So she's hoping for that not to be the case when he comes here. All right, I've been saving the best for last. Let's talk about Caesar and Maria. Oh my goodness. Okay, so Caesar goes back over everything. He's been with her for 5 years. He really thought it would work out. They'd be in Mexico. Well, goodness, so much. We find out, of course, in the last episode that they've been talking since he got back from Mexico, and he's already sent her $2,000 to $3,000 more dollars. Holy cow. And okay, so everybody is trying to tell him it's awful what she did to you. She's taking advantage of you. And the host is asking, is there anything you could have done differently? And he says, no, she could have called me earlier and she could have been there, but I would have still done everything the same way. Oh, Caesar, you just don't learn. Oh my gosh. Okay, so he seems pissy and we think he's going to take this stand. He's really upset, he feels like he's seen the light, right? And then he's realizing, oh, she used me all these years. She used me for money. This isn't right. This is completely wrong. Okay. Well, Maria, they bring her on. She's ready to give her side of what happened. Okay. It's exactly what we think it is. She's scamming everybody. Who knows what really happened, but they bring her on and she's saying, no, he sent me a couple $1,000s, but he's not sent me $40,000 like he claims over the course of 5 years, because he's saying $800 a month, 5 years. She's saying it's just a couple of $1,000s. Okay, so then also she talks about seeing this guy in Dubai, and that she sees other men, and it's not an exclusive relationship. Well, when the host asks her about it, she's like, no, I only love him. Oh, okay. Even the other people on the panel are like, what? You just said you're seeing somebody else. So we just can't get a straight answer out of either one, frankly, but mostly out of her, I think. So again, she's claiming it's $2,000 to $3,000 that he sent her over time, and he's like, no, I've been sending money. So then this crazy storyline comes up where she starts to say, this is all Caesar's fault. And the host is like, well, how is this Caesar's fault? And she says, well, he wanted to look like the victim, and he wanted me to look like the bitch. And some of the other castmates are laughing like, no, you did that on your own. You look like a bitch. But she's trying to say that he orchestrated this, that now he can have everybody love him and feel sorry for him, and she gets to go look like the bitch. Hello, you got so much money out of him. You're on TV. I know they don't pay them for being on TV. They pay the Americans, not the people out of the country. But still, you're getting your 15 minutes you're looking for. I just don't understand this at all. I don't understand how she can talk to him like this and string him along for 5 years. It's so crazy. And I don't understand how he keeps falling for it. He keeps using these excuses like, oh, when you're in love, you're blind, you believe these things. But he's being real stupid. Okay, so something real interesting happened when I Googled him. Turns out, supposedly, there's an episode of 90 Day Fiancé self-quarantine. That sounds interesting. TLC dramatically shared that Caesar had been keeping a secret from production. What? So they cut to Caesar, and he claims he actually ended up meeting with Maria in Ukraine without cameras. What? I need to know every detail. When did this happen? What happened? What are we talking about? The only other information I can find out is that they broke up for good not long after. So, yeah, that's not really a shocker to anybody, I don't think. But I need to know more about this trip. Do you think he's covering so he doesn't feel so stupid? Do you think he actually went to Ukraine and met her? That's just, I don't know. I just wonder about that. She doesn't seem like she'd want him to know exactly where she lives. And that is it for the episode. We're pretty much all caught up on the couples. Very interesting to see where everybody's at, who's together, who's not. I have loved this season. I've had so much fun watching this. I feel sometimes I want to bang my head against the wall watching this show, but it's so interesting to watch these people and watch what all they're thinking and what's going on and how this process works. I had no idea. So anyway, that's it. But check back because I don't know. I'm willing to stick with it if you guys want to keep talking 90 Day. Let me know. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. But wow, what a season. What an episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Leave me comments below. I read all the comments. I love them. You can find me on here. You can find me on Twitter at Real Recaps. And I just appreciate everything. I hope you guys have a fantastic week. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.